I'm Isaac Mori. Welcome to Talk Commerce. Today we'll be speaking with Hikari Senju, who is the founder and CEO of OmniKey. OmniKey is a powered platform that helps businesses connect with new customers through advertising. And they do that by helping you launch campaigns across all kinds of different platforms like Google, Meta, TikTok, Pinterest, Amazon, etc., and automatically adjusting things like your budget and even your content to fit what's performing. And AI really plays heavily into this whole conversation. And one thing that really stood out to me is just how powerful Agentic AI is and is going to be. So if you're an AI enthusiast or you're interested in artificial intelligence and how it's reshaping the world, including marketing, then this episode is going to be right up your alley. Thanks for tuning in. Without further ado, let's hand it over to Brent and Hikari.
Welcome to this episode of Talk Commerce. Today I have Hikari Senju. He is the CEO of Omniky. Hikari, go ahead, do an introduction for yourself. Tell us your day-to-day role and one of your passions in life.
I'm the founder and CEO of Omniky. We generate personalized ads at scale. We are an AI agentic platform to help marketing teams harness the full power of AI to generate ads and launch them in an omnichannel way, ultimately to deliver a higher return on ad spend for your marketing team. My passion is entrepreneurship, really, and helping other entrepreneurs grow. And I think that's also your passion as well, Brent. And so therefore, I'm really excited to be having this conversation with you. I think how can we Omniky's mission is to democratize growth, make growth more accessible for businesses of all sizes, to connect with their customers and ultimately help their products scale. And so it's a very exciting time in advertising. It's a really exciting time in AI, and so thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about agentic and especially agentic in advertising. I'm mainly, I talk a lot about e-commerce, and agentic e-commerce is now the new buzzword for 2025, but I'm excited to get into that. Before we do that, though, you have volunteered to be part of the Free Joke Project. I'm just going to tell you a joke, and all you have to do is give me a rating 8 through 13, and it's guaranteed to be not funny, so you're just going to love this one. Here we go. What do you call someone who pretends to be Swedish? An artificial sweetener.
I think that's it's a gosh. 8.
All right. Yeah. So I like that I set expectations well there, and we hit it. Good. All right. So for our listeners who are not familiar with agentic, which I don't think there should be anybody that isn't, but tell us a little bit about what agentic means in terms of what you're doing in advertising. Let's start there.
Well, I think what's really exciting about the agentic opportunity in advertising is that we're turning advertising from a cost center into a business sales driver. Now with attribution and with autonomous agentic marketing, you can have an AI generate ads, deliver the ads to the right person at the right time in a personalized way, and then actually measure the sales and the results driven by that ad. In a positive return on ad spend way. So you can say for every dollar I spend on ad, it delivers me $2 in sales. And you can now do this due to attribution, improvements in attribution analytics, and due to the scale possibilities with Gen AI and Agentic AI. And that's really exciting because that actually increases the size of advertising. More people can now advertise profitably because of improvements in attribution and decreasing costs of generating and advertising and running these campaigns. And that's exciting for everyone because now, if you have a product, you don't need to hire an expensive agency. You don't need to fuel the massive sales team. You can have these small AI agents, AI agent bots in some ways going out and generating content and delivering that content and bringing in customers for you much more cheaply. And so I think that's really the opportunity, is really just kind of an explosion potentially in the market for people who advertise effectively in a positive ROI positive way, in a profitable way, and then therefore actually improve the number of businesses that are succeeding all over the world on these platforms, and and ultimately increase the size of the pie. Capitalism is about growth, and the more vibrant, the more vibrant economy of products and services out there is, generally it's, increase the size of the pie for everyone, increases consumer experiences in all various ways. And so I think that's really that, what this technology is enabling.
And give us a explanation or the difference between what we saw like in PMAX with paid advertising and how that works and compared to what you're doing.
Sure. So PMAX is really just for one platform, right, which is Google. And what we deliver is omnichannel. You can think of us almost as omnichannel PMAX. So we integrate with Meta, Google, TikTok, LinkedIn, Reddit, Snapchat, Pinterest, Trade Desk, Amazon. You have all these various retail media networks from Walmart, Target. You have mobile advertising platforms, and so really there's more platforms than ever for advertisers to choose from to market. And I think traditionally it was just too much work to learn every platform, to set up attribution for every platform, to create content. Every platform requires its own unique form of content. But now with AI, automating the content generation and automating the media buying, it's literally just a business results box. You deliver for OmniKey budget and kind of the goal that you're optimizing for in terms of sales, and then we'll test all the ad channels for you and deliver you the results you're seeking by generating the ads and running the ads for you through our platform.
One of the things that I heard this spring at some of the trade shows like Shop Talk and eTail was this idea of a deployed agent that a consumer would have that goes out and shops for them, and then they would have to interact with a agent or bot at a merchant site. Do you envision this sort of deployed consumer agent then working with a agentic ad that you have to kind of match those two up and then they can talk? And is that part of what you see happening in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I think there's two types of advertising, right? There's demand capture and demand generation. And we think of demand capture as search, right? You're capturing some latent demand and you're bidding for that. Then there's demand generation, which is more along lines of Meta and Google and display, these YouTube and display advertising. I mean, I think what you're describing here with an agent buying something on behalf of customers, some form of demand capture, like there's already an order out for I want your toothpaste, and now you're essentially bidding for that. I'm not sure if a display ad or an ad necessarily is going to be. I mean, I think there's going to that market's quickly going to develop efficiencies regarding probably just directly paying those agents, to kind of prefer your product over others, and presumably you can buy ads on those agentic platforms directly. Be like, hey, when a consumer asks for toothpaste, recommend the Crest toothpaste, something like this. So there's that. I think the realm that we're going into, in the advertising spend that we focus on, is the demand generation. So most people don't know they need, like most ads you see are about novel products and offerings that will make your life much better, but you didn't even know it existed, right? And I think that is a very important part of marketing and advertising, and like the global economy that is maybe even understated, I think, enough. The world is about growth. Capitalism is about growth. And the only way you get growth is by bringing to market new products and services that make people's lives better. And the only way you really learn about these new products and services is through advertising, predominantly. I mean, there's some level of word of mouth, but word of mouth isn't repeatable and scalable enough. And so ads have this main function of bringing to market, informing consumers of new novel products and services that can make their lives better, whether those are potentially drugs, those could be new apps, those could be new types of products. And so I don't think that market's going to disappear. I think that market's, if anything, going to increase as more people realize that they can advertise much more efficiently in an ROI positive way through platforms like us. And that's really the area, I think, when it comes to display advertising, we focus on is that demand gen. demand generation. And I think potentially that demand generation advertising market is much larger than the demand capture market, just because, demand capture is, you already have some latent demand, but that's a fixed kind of, there's a ceiling to that. While demand generation is infinite. I mean, you can always, generate new demand for novel services as long as people keep innovating new products and bringing new products out to market.
Can you connect, so demand generation, you sort of connect with retargeting ads? Like I've clicked on Nike and now suddenly everywhere I go on the internet, I'm getting Nike ads, but you're targeting it in a smarter way, or explain that a little bit
more. I mean, retargeting is really interesting. I think, I think retargeting can be both, demand gen and demand capture to some extent. I mean, if you know that someone's in the market for buying sneakers, running sneakers, then, retargeting is effective because you just, they visit your website, they maybe added something into your cart, they didn't exactly make the decision to buy at that moment, which is often the case. You often need 7-8 customer touch points before somebody makes a purchase decision. So you actually do need, it's usually not just one, they see an ad once and then they buy the product. It's usually kind of a nurturing process, even within advertising. And so, I think for us, this is really where the omnichannel component is so critical, because oftentimes you're not making a buying decision on just one platform. You're making a buying decision across multiple platforms. You're seeing a brand, or you're seeing an ad on Meta, and then you're seeing it on YouTube, and then you're seeing it on your website on a banner ad, and then you're potentially seeing it on a streaming platform, and then you're getting a push notification or an email. And somebody needs to orchestrate those personalized experiences to make sure that the messaging is consistent every time you see every single one of those ads, and personalized sufficiently for you, right? It'd be weird if you saw a disjointed messaging every time. Maybe you saw 25% discount one time, and suddenly it's a 5% discount, and suddenly 50% discount, and one ad is focusing on, how it's great for, running in the snow, but then suddenly, the next ad is about running in, on the beach, and it's like, well, what, it hurts brand value, it hurts brand trust, and it lowers conversion rates. And so, we and at the same time, also, you want to make sure that the ads are novel. There's a stat that says that consumers have seen the same ad more than 4 times, decrease conversion rates by over 50%. So ad fatigue is a real problem. And if you show the same ad over and over again to the same person, they're going to check out. And so you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you're showing one ad and then showing the same ad multiple times in other places as well, because that's also really annoying for the consumer. And so again, that's really where the omnichannel orchestration is so key, and that's really where we play a key role in terms of making sure that those each one of those interactions is novel, enriching, and personalized, and ultimately delivers results for the brand.
I know that earlier you talked about a lot of different platforms that people have the choice for, but at some point you also have to have some scale and you have to have some budget. Do you recommend branching out and starting with one and going to others as your budget increases? Talk a little bit about how somebody can be effective in this with multiple platforms where you're delivering to.
Well, I think the traditional, and this is, I think, coming, into like definitely the 2010s, and maybe even going to the 2020s, early 2020s, is you start with Google search, you capture the demand there. So you just, you bid for all the keywords where someone's actively searching for your product or kind of the pain point that your product is solving. And that has the highest conversion rates because someone's actively searching for it. You can pay the most for it because it quickly converts into revenue, hopefully converts into revenue generating moment for you. So you pay $5 for, a search ad result. They click on the ad, they buy a $20 shoe, right? That's now a 4x ROI on that ad spend. And so that usually that was the first step. And then after that, usually went to kind of demand gen platform, and historically the most the default demand gen platform you would then go to was Meta and Google, and Meta and Instagram, and because Meta has I think the best targeting, definitely the most its largest display advertising platform. Along with Google. And so that was kind of, and then after you did Meta, then maybe you'd explore TikTok and Snapchat and Pinterest. And but I think now, if the the world we're entering is you just come to a platform like OmniKey and say, hey, we're just looking to deliver sales at the optimal return on ad spend, and then OmniKey will run test budgets across all the platforms for you, and then start delivering, and then start seeing what is the return on ad spend for you, and then just start delivering you results as an offering, and not require you to learn how to look at it, because every time you launch a new platform, there's a cost to it. There's a learning cost. Like, I need to learn how to run search ads, which is not trivial, and then I need to learn how to run display ads, which is also not trivial on Meta, and then I need to learn how to run that has a humongous learning curve. Plus you have to create content for each of these platforms, which is unique. Like, certain types of content perform well on Meta that don't perform on, say, TikTok or Snapchat. Then you need to create distinct content for these other platforms. And so the cost of launching a new platform historically was very high. But if you're automating that media buying, and if you're automating the media generation, then you can quickly, more quickly test a new platform sooner. And then maybe you actually realize that one of these other platforms is where most of your audience resides, and you can actually scale ads there sooner. And so that's, I think, the world that we're entering.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, it sounds like, it sounds like, what I hear you saying is that we're more concerned with where we're going to deliver to up front and then figure out the budget. And does your platform kind of help figure out where the best place is to deliver the ads for the budget you're giving it?
Yeah, our AI delivers budget suggestions across platforms based on the return on ad spend. So if you're seeing most of the results being driven by a certain platform, we'll suggest shifting budget over to that platform. And so that's our platform suggests omnichannel budgets.
What do you think this year is going to look like, and how do you think the ads are going to shape going into Black Friday? And people should be planning already, right, for this fall, for their Black Friday, Cyber Monday season.
Well, gosh, I mean, I think the volatility in terms of the general sentiment is so extreme, it's really hard to predict. Right now, I think it's generally people are feeling pretty good. As of May 15th, the tariffs and trade war situation seems to not be as bad, and therefore I think the market is, and it seems also the interest rates are going to go down. And so I think a combination of lower tariffs and lower rates means people are generally in somewhat of an exuberant mood. But again, this situation changes every week, so like, who the heck knows? But what is undeniable is that AI is going to play a big role in advertising for this advertising season, and every year AI is going to play a bigger role in terms of online commerce.
Hikari, we have a few minutes left, and as I close out the podcast, to give everybody a chance to do a shameless plug about anything they'd like, what would you like to plug today?
Well, gosh, I mean, the shameless plug is the OmniKey platform. I mean, go to our website if you would be so obliging. Go to omnikey.com. We have a free trial. You can sign up. Connect your Meta account or your Google account or a TikTok account, self-service. You can launch ads. So you can generate ads, generate campaigns, and launch them all seamlessly, self-service through our tool. And then if you're interested in getting more on the platform, please sign up for a demo. But definitely, at least try it out. It's a free trial, and start generating ads and playing around with the tool yourself, and seeing really the exciting things that we're generating, enabling for our customers.
And tell us how they can get in touch with you.
Well, you can get in touch with me at hikari@omnikey.com, or you can message me on LinkedIn or Twitter. And then you can follow OmniKey at OmniKey is our Twitter handle, OmniKey is our YouTube handle, OmniKey is our Facebook handle, OmniKey is our Instagram and X, and et cetera, et cetera. So you can also follow us on socials across all the various channels.
That's perfect. And it's OMNEKY.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, and I'll make sure I get that in the show notes. Hikari, it's been such a pleasure. Hikari Senju is the CEO and founder of OmniKey. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Brent.
Talk Commerce is a production of Content Basis, LLC. For more creative content, go to contentbasis.io.